Hi, my name's Al Hari, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm very autistic about this band called Steam-Powered Giraffe. Today I'm going to talk about a very obscure character from this already obscure band, and propose a theory based on my analysis of her videos. I'm talking, of course, about Vivian becile. I won't be going over every other member of the becile family in this video, but I will likely talk about them on this channel at some point in the future. For now, I'll go over what we know about Vivian as an individual. However, I do recommend that you watch her videos for yourself first. In total, they're less than 3 minutes. I compiled and captioned them in a video I've linked in the description, though mind the content warnings in the beginning. I'll be showing clips and discussing the subject matter in this analysis. Let's start with what we know about Vivian's place on the becile family tree. She is Buster's sister, confirmed from a real-life band member. Through what we know about Buster, we can infer that she's the granddaughter of Ignatius becile and the great-granddaughter of Thaddeus becile. Her parents are unknown, although she states multiple times that her father isn't very supportive. In her first video, she tells us that it's her first day at Walter Robotics as the lead particle engineer. It's a little unclear if she means her first day as lead engineer or first day at Walter Robotics as a whole. Due to her giddy excitement and cluelessness about what exactly the company is capable of, I'm inclined to believe it's her first day overall. Her second video is where most of the potential analysis lies. Her hair is now white after she dropped something you're really not supposed to drop, likely some kind of radioactive substance or piece of technology. Your first thought might be blue matter, the material that runs the SPG robots, but I believe it's something different. We've seen blue matter radiation in the Walter workers, both in person and in the comics. Blue matter turns hair blue, and your skin either pales white or tints blue. Neither seems to be happening to Vivian here. It could be some other color of matter perhaps, but we don't know enough about the others compared to blue matter to make any definite conclusions. Vivian is in a basement laboratory, and there is a shrill alarm audible in the background, as well as the room being bathed in red light. They're in lockdown, she's alone, and she's the only one who can sort this out. That last statement is interesting to me. Why exactly is she the only one who can fix this? She says that she's contaminated with a mystery substance, but surely the Walters have protective gear they could wear to help. Even if they don't, they could still contact her from outside. More on that later. Okay, it's time to talk about the rats. After getting a little delirious about the fact she has cell service, Vivian mentions that there's half-eaten rat corpses in the chamber. She believes there's something else with her, at least until her third and final video. Her makeup is smeared as she confesses that she's been the one eating the rats. She's extremely delirious at this point, and despite her earlier upset at the idea of eating rats, she seems to be enjoying it now. According to her, the Walters asked if she wanted a pizza, and she declined in favor of the rats. Now, I don't know about you, but I highly doubt the Walters would establish a connection to Vivian, ask if she wanted pizza, and then disappear. As weird and wacky as the family is, I don't think they would leave an employee alone like that. They could have helped her solve whatever scientific disaster is happening. I don't think the Walters ever actually spoke to Vivian during this entire ordeal. She was down there all alone the entire time, and she hallucinated whatever conversation she believed she had with the Walters. Speaking of time, exactly how long was she in the chamber? Alarms are going off in her second video, and although they're not audible in her third, the emergency lighting still seems to be on. She was trapped long enough to nearly starve to get desperate enough to eat rats. Why would no one contact her or try to help her in all that time? It must have been at least a day, likely longer. Importantly, the alarms were going off when there were already rat corpses on the ground, after she'd begun to starve. Who would let emergency alarms blare for multiple days? Surely they could be heard throughout Walter Manor, or at least one of the AIs would be notified. Something doesn't add up here. This is where the final piece of the puzzle comes in. The name of the project Vivian was hired to work on. The audio is a little unclear, but she says it at the end of her second video.
Project Perpetuum is off to a riveting start.
Project Perpetuum. The last syllable or so is up for debate, but she clearly says something that begins with perpet. When I heard that phrase, the first thing I thought of was the word perpetual, unending, continuing forever. In Latin, the word perpetuous means continuous, entire, or universal, and is the root of English words like perpetual and perpetuity. I believe that whatever Vivian dropped, whether it was some kind of matter, other material, or a machine, stopped time. The second it hit the floor, time froze. It seemed like time was passing to Vivian, who, in her own words, was contaminated. She could hear the alarms, she could interact with the rats, but outside the chamber was always that split second after the alarm tripped. This also explains why the Walters never came to rescue her, why days passed without anyone coming to help. They hadn't even realized anything happened yet. The days Vivian spent inside the chamber were extremely real to her, but to everyone else, she was only down there a few minutes. Maybe when she finally escapes the time freeze, starving and clinging to sanity, everyone is confused why she looks so upset. But that's my own angsty idea. In canon, we never see Vivian escape. True, we see her activate QWERTY at the end of her third video. He could have helped her break out of the chamber in some way. But we don't know that for sure. As far as we know, Vivian Becile is still down there, experiencing an endless moment in the basement of Walter Manor, trying her best to escape while both her mind and the rats dwindle away. Or maybe she did escape after all, and she's living at the manor with her new Walter family, and they all love each other very much. Who knows? That's what fan content is for. Please make fan art and fanfic for Vivian. I love her so much, and she deserves it. Right, now that we're at the end of the video, it's time for you to subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff if you want. You can tip me on Ko-fi if you like my work or want to commission me to draw silly robots. You should support the band on Patreon too. See you later.